This is the ALLPOWERS R2500 portable power station, and my first impression was simple. This thing means serious power. It's not a cute camping battery. It's a 2016 watt HFA pack with a 2500 watt pure sine wave inverter that surges to 4000 watts, wrapped in a tough ABS shell with big handles. It feels like it belongs in a garage, an RV bay, or under a workbench. It also feels heavy. On paper, it's around 64 to 65 pounds, and that matches what my back told me. I can move it alone, but I don't like to. Luggable is the right word. Key features that mattered to me were the power, charging speed, and ports. The AC side gives you 4 NEMA 5 to 20 outlets. That's the 20A style with the horizontal blade slot, so it accepts both regular 15A plugs and 20A plugs you see on heavier tools. There's also a 30A RV outlet, plus 2 100-watt USB-C ports, multiple USB-A, 2 DC barrel ports, and a 12-volt car socket. The battery uses LiFePO4 chemistry, which is known for safety and long life. The claim is 3,500 plus cycles to 80% capacity, which is a big deal if you plan to use it daily. Pure sine wave means the AC power is clean, so sensitive electronics and induction motors behave like they're on wall power. Surge is that quick extra headroom for starting things like fridges and compressors. On charging, the wall input can go up to 1500 watts, and the solar input has an MPPT controller rated up to 1000 watts. MPPT is a smart solar controller that squeezes the most power out of your panels. There's also a UPS function that switches over in under 15 milliseconds. That's fast enough to keep a desktop computer or router from rebooting, but there's a 1500 watt output limit when UPS is active. Connectivity runs through Wi-Fi and Bluetooth with the ALLPOWERS app. And if you need more capacity, it supports expansion batteries. From my experience, the inverter is a beast. I ran an 1800 watt heat gun on high with no drama. I microwaved leftovers while a fan and a TV were on, and the R2500 didn't flinch. My fridge's compressor startup was smooth, no obvious dimming or hiccups. Power tools that usually make smaller stations sag were fine. I also tried a CPAP one night just to check. Pure sine wave and quiet overnight draw were solid. The NEMA 520 outlets are genuinely useful. I have a couple of 20 amp tools that fit right in. The 30 amp RV port is convenient for hooking into a trailer shore cord. Just keep in mind, the inverter tops out at 2500 watts, so you won't actually pull a full 30 amps at 120 volts continuously from that port. It's the right connector, but your real limit is the inverter. Charging is where I had to learn the system a bit, out of the box. My wall charging sat around 1000 to 1050 watts. And a full charge was closer to 2 hours than 1. After I paired the app and switched it to fast charging, I started seeing 1450 to 1520 watts from the wall, and a near empty to full charge in roughly 1.3 to 1.5 hours. That's very fast, but there's a trade-off: fan noise. In fast charging, the cooling ramps up hard. It sounds like an old desktop at full tilt. In standard mode, the fans are audible but reasonable. In my opinion, the app should make that fast/standard setting more obvious, because I can see how people think it doesn't hit 1500 watts when it's just in the default mode. On solar, the included SP033 is a 36.6 volt, 200 watt foldable panel. It's light for its size, comes with the right leads, including solar to XT60 DC adapters, and is rated up to 22% efficiency. In clear midday sun, I typically saw 170 to 190 watt. In real conditions, it spends a lot of time at 120 to 160 watt. With just this one panel, a full recharge is an all-day task. That's expected. 200 watt into a 2016 watt-hour battery is a long haul. Where the R2500 really shines is when you feed it more panels. I borrowed extra panels for a day and stacked around 800 watt into the solar input. The built-in MPPT handled it very well and kept tracking even with passing cloud cover. If you're going off-grid, I'd say treat 600 to 1000 watt of panels as the sweet spot for this unit. Dual charge with wall and solar together is fast, but I didn't use that often because the wall input alone is already plenty. The UPS function did what I wanted. I put my desktop and router on it, pulled the wall plug, and both kept running. No flicker, no reboot. That sub 15 millisecond switch seems legit. Just stay under that 1500 watt UPS limit if you're thinking of backing up a whole circuit. A fridge plus network gear is fine. A fridge and a space heater at the same time is pushing it. Noise and heat management are worth talking about. At idle or light loads, the fans mostly stay quiet. Flip the AC inverter on with no load, and I sometimes hear a fan pulse. I also see a small idle draw with the AC section enabled, generally in the 10-20 watt range. It's not a problem, just something to know. Under heavy inverter loads or fast charging, the noise ramps up. In a small room, you'll notice it. I try to charge fast while I'm away or during the day in the garage, and keep it on standard mode if it's near a living space. Build quality on the outside is great. The case is solid, the handles don't flex, and the ports feel secure. The screen is clear and shows input, output, and battery percentage without fuss. The body size is about 18 by 14 by 13.6 inches, so plan a proper spot for it. It's perfect for a fixed corner of a van or a shelf in a workshop. I wouldn't carry it to a picnic table every day. A little folding dolly is your friend. On the app side, I had a mixed run. The app layout is simple, and it shows live watts in and out clearly. I like being able to toggle AC and DC remotely and change charge modes. Bluetooth range is short for me. A couple walls and it drops, and sometimes I had to relaunch the app to reconnect. Wi-Fi was more stable once I locked it to 2.4 GHz. A firmware update improved my charging control and made the fan curve feel a bit smarter, so I do recommend checking for updates early. Now the part I wish I could skip: reliability. My first unit developed a weird behavior after a week. It powered on, the fans jumped to a high speed, and none of the outputs worked. No AC, no DC, just noise. A reset didn't fix it. Support labeled it a logic board issue and swapped it. The replacement has been stable so far, and I've used it for daily tasks for several weeks. But that first failure definitely shook my confidence. I've also seen one odd clicking sound when running a tiny 30-watt AC load, which went away when I toggled the AC section off and on. It hasn't come back, but I'm mentioning it because little quirks matter when you rely on a unit like this. The 5-year warranty is good to have, and in my case the response time on the swap was acceptable. From my experience, the R2500 strengths are real. Massive power for the size, super fast AC charging, an MPPT that does honest work, clean AC for sensitive gear, and a port selection that matches what prosumers actually use, including that 20 amp outlet compatibility and the RV connection. The SP033 panel is a nice starter panel that's easy to handle and store, and it pairs smoothly with the R2500. The downsides are the weight, the fan noise at full tilt, the learning curve around the app for unlocking fast charging, and the reliability scare I had on the first unit. It's perfect for RV owners who want to run a fridge, cook briefly on electric, keep climate control fans going, and recharge aggressively on shore power or solar. It's also great as a home backup for a fridge, lights, network, and a workstation with the UPS feature. For job sites, it will run most corded tools without complaint. If you need silence in a bedroom or you move your power station every day, this is probably not your best fit. I'd recommend this for people who value high output and fast charging, are comfortable using an app to tweak settings, and can place it somewhere semi-permanent. If reliability is your top priority and downtime is unacceptable, I'd test the unit hard in the return window and keep a backup plan until you're confident in your particular sample. In my opinion, the R2500 with the SP033 panel offers impressive capability at its price, with the caveat that you should plan around its size, noise when sprinting, and the possibility of needing support if you hit a bad unit. When it's running right, it feels like a small portable power room. In conclusion, I like the performance, I respect the charging speed, and I hope the firmware and QA continue to improve because the hardware platform has real potential. If your use case matches its strengths, it can be a very useful power tool. Please check the comments section for detailed information about the ALLPOWERS R2500 portable power station. Thank you for watching.